Montana, they're in the 60s. Ohio, they're in the mid-50s to mid-60s. Illinois, temperatures range from places like Chicago at 59 degrees to 71. Well, they're in the low 70s throughout the St. Louis area. Outside of the city, though, because St. Louis is in Missouri. Let's take a look at the Great Lakes. In Michigan, temperatures are in the upper 40s to upper 50s. Wisconsin, temperatures are in the 50s. In the Dakotas and Minnesota, temperatures all over Minnesota, they range from the mid-50s to the mid-60s. The entire Dakotas, temperatures range from the low 60s to the mid-70s. Going down the Missouri River. In Ohio, temperatures, Iowa, sorry about that. In Iowa, temperatures are in the 60s. In Missouri, temperatures are in the 70s. Kansas and Nebraska, temperatures range from the low 60s to the mid-70s. In Montana, you got temperatures that are in the 60s on the mountainside and the rocky side of the state. Elsewhere, temperatures are in the 70s. In northern Idaho, temperatures are in the 60s, plus Idaho Falls. In the southern part of the state, temperatures are in the 70s minus Idaho Falls. In Wyoming, temperatures are in the 60s to mid-70s. Colorado, temperatures are in the 70s. Utah, they range from 64 in Logan to 86 in St. George. Though elsewhere, temperatures are in the 70s, but Vernal's at 68. In Nevada, temperatures throughout much of the state, they're in the mid-60s to mid-70s. Otherwise, in the southern tip of the state, they're in the upper 70s to mid-80s, upper 80s. Like Las Vegas is at 88 degrees. In New Mexico, temperatures all across the state, they're in the mid-70s to mid-80s. In Arizona, temperatures in the northern half of the state, they range from 61 in Alpine to 86 in Kingman. Elsewhere throughout that part of the state, temperatures are in the 70s. But you go down to southern Arizona, temperatures there, they range from 84 in Tucson to 97 in Phoenix and Yuma. Then you move on to California, 59 Eureka, temperatures are in the 70s throughout the Bay Area, 77 in LA, 71 in San Diego, 93 in Indio. The Central Valley of California, temperatures range from the mid-70s to upper 80s. Going up to the Pacific Northwest, temperatures range from 59 in Eugene to 71 in Burns, Oregon. I mean, it's mostly warm on the leeward side of the Cascades, meaning on the eastern side of the state. Western side, which is the coastal part, temperatures are in the upper 50s to low 60s. In Washington State, temperatures actually range from the upper 50s, like Seattle and Trail at 59, to 75 in Walla Walla. Let's talk about gusts. Where are the gusts? Gusts are quite strong throughout much of the Northeast. Virtually, they range from the 30s to about upper 40s in miles per hour in terms of the wind gusts. But in some places, maybe a little past 50 miles an hour, like parts of the Catskills all the way to Mount Washington in New Hampshire. I think I can hear background music on my end, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, it's been a while since I've checked where Mount Washington is. But in any case, plenty of strong winds in the northeast, but in the south, 30s in miles per hour throughout to the Rio Grande Valley and central and parts of South Florida. Plenty of strong winds throughout the Great Plains, places like South Dakota and Nebraska winds. Wind gusts are blowing around 30 to 50 miles an hour there, maybe a little stronger in some places. In the parts of the Rockies, also up to 50, 60 miles an hour in a few places though. And Northern California, the Sierra Nevadas, parts of Oregon have wind gusts. They're blowing around 50 miles an hour, but localized heavier or stronger wind, gusty winds are there. Humidity. There's plenty of humidity throughout the coastal parts of New England, in Cape Cod, all the way to Bangor, Maine. Plenty of humidity from places like Macon, all the way to the Outer Banks and Virginia Beach. A little bit of humidity. It's ongoing throughout parts of the Pacific Northwest, South Florida, parts of the Great Plains. Sorry about that. Rainfall accumulation. So, what's the estimated rainfall right now? Well, the Carolinas, there has been as much as it's estimated to be about half an inch to about an inch of rain in the coastal part of South Carolina, to a few parts in Georgia, and just about up to half an inch of rain in a few places throughout Arizona and New Mexico, and a little bit about an inch just north of Redding, all the way to the Canadian border, but just not in a widespread fashion. But just so you know, all this is just estimates, not actual amounts, though. Consult with your local officials, your local weather office, just so that you get, accurate amounts in real time. This is all just estimates. Now, let's see, where am I going? New snowfall. I don't think there's any, except for northwestern Washington, just northwest of Concrete, with just about up to 2 to 4 inches of snow. That could be in the making, though. It's a new one, though. Let's go to the upper level winds. Let's take a look. Well, as you can see, we do have a ridge just sitting over Texas, and a trough sitting over the Pacific Northwest offshore, though. That's also an upper level low. There is another trough just to the north of New England, which happens to be Quebec. And there is, looks like another trough that may be over and off of Florida. But what does this mean, folks? Well, it just means that there is plenty of action throughout the desert Southwest, but surprisingly, there isn't much going on in the Pacific Northwest, even though there normally is. In the Northeast, there were storms, but cold fronts swept in, and it's drying up right now. In the South, there are some storms that are popping up, particularly in the Southeast, and especially Texas. Let's move on to 24 hours from now. So, let's see, we got a ridge sitting over the southern plains in Colorado, and an upper level low, which is a trough just off of the Pacific Northwest. Another ridge, from what it looks like, just over the Ohio Valley, but small though. And an upper level low, which is a trough just north of the Dakotas. And from what it looks like, an upper level low is forming. That's over the southeast, trough just to the northeast of Maine. This means that there could be somewhat weather that's going to impact throughout the upper Mississippi Valley, northern plains, and the northern side of the Great Lakes region. Could be yours, Wild. And there's going to be a buildup of some storms throughout parts of the west, though. And some pop-up storms throughout parts of the southeast. On Saturday, we do have this trough that's going to be over the Carolinas, over the southeast, a ridge over Texas, an upper level low that's strengthening, and it's also serves as a trough, though. It's going to be over the Great Lakes region, and another one over and off of the Pacific Northwest, and a ridge just sitting over off of the east coast. What does this mean? A buildup of some storms will affect places like the interior west and parts of the Pacific Northwest. And storms may occur throughout the Great Lakes region and parts of the south. Now, this could be troublesome, folks. Now, let's see, moving on to another 3 days. So that means it'll be Saturday night. By Saturday night, there's going to be a ridge over Texas, a trough over the Great Basin, and another one that's connected, just located in British Columbia, and a trough over the Carolinas and upper level low. It's going to sit there over Michigan and the Ohio Valley. And yet, there could be something that could happen, and all this is going to cause some trouble. Yeah, it does say that I might be getting some rain either Thursday night or Friday. Yeah, all of this has many of my friends who work with weather. They are indicating that there could be a big nor'easter in the making by early next week, going into Monday and into early Tuesday. So I got to keep an eye on that. Either way, there's going to be some storms throughout places like the desert southwest and the northern plains and parts of the south and parts of the east coast. We get some storms going as well, and even some in the Great Lakes region. Well, since that's it for the 3-day forecast, let's move on to the tropics. With the tropics, I mean, this is more of a general view, though. So let's see what we got. Okay, so Jerry is just sitting over here off the Windward Islands, and another system. It kind of looks like something could brew, but right now it doesn't look like much, and maybe something that could form there, but not much though. And maybe something to the east, but highly doubtful of that. But we might as well just see what happens in 24 hours. So Jerry tends to get itself organized in due time. Oh man, I gotta stay comfortable. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. See, maybe something could form in the Gulf, maybe not, and there could be something near the Bahamas, but right now it doesn't look like that's going to happen. We see this trough that's there, and an upper level high that could make this very unlikely to get a system to develop here. But Jerry, it's going to grow on its own, so let's see what happens. Friday night, it's still disorganized, but it's slowly getting its act together. Maybe something right around here. A trough, it's about to set up over the southeast. Strong winds over the Gulf and the Caribbean, and as well as the tropical Atlantic. So what does this mean? Jerry is going to be out of here. Yep, and this trough is, this trough is kicking Jerry out. Strong winds that would dominate throughout the Gulf and the Caribbean and much of the Atlantic. Now moving on to Sunday night. All that tends, all the upper level lows and troughs tend to combine. And all of that could lead to from what I've heard is a nor'easter, but right now it doesn't look like as though. But yet, two upper level lows are converging, which could create a big mess. I call it a big atmospheric mess in the Northeast. Well, we'll check it out. But right now, all I'm seeing for Sunday night is just a little bit of hint of some tropical development right between the Windward Islands and Africa. But otherwise, it's just dry air, strong winds aloft throughout much of the tropical Atlantic. But for Monday night, there tends to be a very